So here's the moment of impact. Everyone turn up the volume, listen closely, watch closely. We'll play it a few times.
Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah.
All right, that was an enormous impact. I'm going to play it one more time. So, here's a comparison of a JDAM strike, which was a 500-pound bunker buster bomb, and that attack. Seymour Hersh has published a piece citing intelligence sources claiming that Israel was planning to carry out several JDAM strikes in the coming days. JDAMs are generally 5,000 pounds. Barack Obama began shipping JDAMs to Israel as a consolation for Israel kind of stepping aside while he did the Iran deal. And I've witnessed in a certain sense a JDAM strike on the Gaza Strip.
Bombs out.
Bombs away.
And once again, this is a kind of a Hamas rocket, sort of a locally manufactured
Bombs out.
Bombs away.
bunker buster bomb. Now, I haven't shown you any footage from inside the hospital, but it's ghastly. They're just piles of bodies. Civil rescue teams are bringing out body bags. I just saw footage of a father carrying the remains of his infant son in a bag. It's disgusting. It was a bloodbath. Here's what Israel is claiming. Israel is claiming this was a misfire by a Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket. And here's the official claim. This is from two Israeli spokespeople. From the analysis of the IDF operational systems, an enemy rocket barrage was carried out towards Israel, which passed in the vicinity of the hospital when it was hit. According to intelligence information from several sources we have, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad is responsible for the failed launch that hit the hospital. And he's basically translating from the official Israeli army spokesperson, Daniel Hagari. And then he's tweeted this video.
المدينة هي الأكثر تعرضا للصواريخ منذ بداية هذه الحرب. عمدة المدينة كانت تحدث قبل أيام عن أكثر من 1000 صاروخ طال هذه المدينة وأكثر من 170 صاروخا سقط بالفعل.
This is not the video that Israel's foreign ministry is sharing. That's from Al Jazeera Arabic. So basically, like, he didn't provide any video evidence. Israel's foreign ministry is sharing or shared a few minutes ago a very blurry series of videos showing what they claimed were Palestinian Islamic Jihad misfires. And I'll show you a screenshot because mysteriously those videos have gone missing from the Israeli Foreign Ministry's website. Here's what they tweeted. It's a photo. Breaking, IDF spokesperson from the analysis of the operational systems of the IDF, an enemy rocket barrage was carried out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but then you can see last edited. They removed the video that claimed to show those rockets misfiring. Why? Because as Seamus Malakavali pointed out, if there's any better evidence that Israel's lying about the hospital airstrike, it's this. First reports of the explosion occurred at around 7:20 local time. And I was actually, monitoring what was taking place in Gaza, watching Al Jazeera English when it took place at that time. every video the Israeli army or Israeli government is sharing around show a blast that occurred between 7:59 and 8 o'clock. And you can actually see the times there. You can see the times, and that's why they had to delete it.
Mm.
So then they deleted the video and have republished the tweet without the video, as we see, because it would have been definite proof that they misled.
Yeah, and this new line that this was actually, some errant Hamas rocket that actually came about, I think, fairly recently. Their first, initially, what they said was that the IDF is investigating the source of the explosion, like always, is prioritizing accuracy and reliability. And this was kind of the initial statements that came from a handful of IDF sources for the first hour or two. What was really happening in my mind is they were all getting on the same page, realizing, okay, we have to come up with some kind of plausible cover story that's at least going to distract people for a day or two. And I think that's what they settled on.
So here's IDF, Israeli Army digital spokesperson, Hanania Naftali, before he got on the same page with everyone else. I guess he hadn't gotten the memo.
Right.
Breaking: Israeli Air Force struck a Hamas terrorist base inside a hospital in Gaza. A multiple number of terrorists are dead. It's heartbreaking that Hamas is launching rockets from hospitals, mosques, schools, and using civilians as human shields. This was sort of the justification that I expected to hear from Israel for the attack. And one of the reasons that I played that audio and video of the JDAM strike to give everyone a sense of what a JDAM sounds like is because I actually witnessed one while I was in Gaza City. I was conducting an interview in August 2014 and in a cafe in the Al Rimal neighborhood, which has been totally wiped off the map, totally leveled. And in an adjacent neighborhood called Al Nasser, Israel carried out a JDAM strike on a house because it was targeting its top target in the Gaza Strip, Mohammed Deif, who is the leader he's the chief of staff of the Al-Qassam Brigades, which is the military wing of Hamas. They've tried to kill him 5 times. He's severely disfigured. They wound up killing his wife and child in that attack, and he survived. But I heard that strike, and it was shocking for me to hear it. It was like the ground shook under me. I could actually see the flash of the explosion on the face of my interview subject. It was a distinct sound, and it's what I thought I heard when I heard the strike on the hospital. Now, again, it could possibly not be a JDAM strike. We're hearing from an Al Jazeera reporter on the ground that it was an unusual munition that contained many fragments and was actually lighter than other bombs that have been dropped and was able to cause a more incendiary effect. I don't know if he's referring to some kind of thermobaric weapon. But there have also, we should also know there are often misfires of rockets in the Gaza Strip, and they do land on Gaza, but we've never seen a massacre like this resulting from one of them because they don't pack the same level of explosive impact as Israeli missiles do. So
they don't have the same technology. They don't have, that to me, the sound, that sounds like a supersonic munition. That sounds like something traveling faster than the speed of sound. That sounds... And as far as I'm aware, we haven't seen Hamas use any kind of munitions nearly that advanced throughout the course of this conflict. That, to me, is something that, definitely suggests this was an Israeli strike.
Yes. Here's one of the main, Israeli propaganda sites attempting to publicize what they say is the Palestinian Islamic Jihad misfire. Gaza hospital bombed. IDF was not operating in the area. And here's one of the videos they showed. This video is probably coming down from official sources to spread to all their Hasbara propaganda accounts. But as I pointed out, that video is from August 6, 2022. They don't even know what they're doing. This is that video. Here, could it be a misfire by PIJ? August 6, 2022. There's that video. oops, you lost on that one. I mean, they're just throwing, and if you look at the reactions by Zionists to these claims on Twitter, they're like, I feel so relieved. Like, because they're in addition to trying to lie to the public, they're providing Israel supporters with psychological security of thinking that Hamas is just killing itself. And as you pointed out, Wyatt, one of CNN's top war propagandists, the CIA adjacent Clarissa Ward, is conveying Israeli claims with almost uncritical scrutiny.
Well, but certainly a dramatic and horrific intensification of violence, Jake, right on the eve of President Biden's visit here.
Right? Notice how she pointed that out.
Yeah, it's like, how could they do this and ruin it for Biden? But notice she's in Ashkelon. All the reporters are in Tel Aviv or Ashkelon. I watched CNN throughout this whole time in the background, and I was monitoring the images, and they avoided showing any images from inside Gaza City.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. And notice how they say, according to Hamas, like, you can't really believe
Hamas. The Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry.
All right, now listen to what she says.
Here, not clear where this goes from here. You mentioned IDF said that they are looking into the incident, that it could potentially have been a Hamas misfire, if you like, of a rocket we've had.
It could have potentially been a Hamas misfire. Hey, where is that critical scrutiny and the willingness to listen to both sides when Netanyahu said that Hamas beheaded 40 Palestinian babies and raped women?